wound is the place where the light enters you. Don't mean to laugh while I'm saying that. But transforming your path, it really only takes one question to change your entire life. And not for the worse, like just to change it completely, but especially for the better. And I say the wound is the place where the light enters you because, yeah, like I'm trying to speak from a place of only scars right now, not wounds, only things that have healed, like hard won wounds that have healed fully and became scars. But asking yourself the uncomfortable things can shift your whole path. And one time, like I asked myself, like, what if this didn't have to hurt? And that sounds too much like wound and all that stuff too. But what if this could be easier? Like, what if this actually isn't how it has to be? It's a limiting belief, and you just like falsely thought that that's how things are. It's going to be kind of an odd thing for me to say, but for me, I always believed that once I'm 30 years old, I have to stop going on vacations and have kids and settle down. And that's just how life is. When I realized, I didn't have to do that, it really did change like my path. And I also kind of thought, what if I didn't have to have kids, like what would I want to do? Like what would happen? Like what would I do with my life, instead of raising children? And my first thought was kind of weird to me. It was like I would get my MFA in fine art. And this was a little bit of a while ago, when I kind of still believed in degrees or something, like thought that they had some kind of help getting you a job somewhere. And, now I know better. But back then, still now, even right now, I'd love to get an MFA in fine art and just like and that's the reason why is because, can you imagine like spending your every day for 2 years, like focused and studying? Oh no, like, could you imagine? To me, what was so exciting about that possibility was like, instead of working full time for somebody, like all the time working on art for them, making my own art and being in a gallery someday and having an exhibit. And I just realized like I could do that. Like, first I realized I don't have to have kids. So it was like a huge relief. And, then I kind of imagined, geez, I could have like my own gallery show someday and make a whole bunch of pieces for like no profit, or even if it was for like selling my tarot card collection that I've been working on for like 10 years at this gallery show, along with these paintings of like the pieces or something. And making it all like really glittery. And like, I was just having like all these like ideas of what I would do if I didn't have to have kids. And I was like, you know what? Like, all right, first of all, like, we kind of don't have to have kids. We could just be adults and like live our lives like our own way. We could also like, second of all, like you can do that. Is that something you're interested in? Because you haven't mentioned this before to yourself. Like, so what's a limiting belief that you've always thought has to be like a certain way in your life? Like, what did you always imagine like as kind of an ending to like the fun? Or maybe you always said like, or somebody says, if you win the lottery, what would you do? If you, that kind of thing. But then, try to get deeper and realize like what limits you might have been setting on yourself. For me, it was like that 30. Like I was like, 30 is when your life ends. It's also probably because it's like the end of beauty, like for women. Because like once you're over 30, then you're no longer like a young like person, or so you can't be like pretty or something. Like, yeah, I kind of had a limiting belief about that too. But now I'm very distracted by all my art dreams. So at least I kind of never identified fully with just only being like a pretty girl. That would be like another kind of hard belief to kind of get through. But like we all put them on ourselves. Like when we're no longer able to change a situation, we're challenged to change ourselves. Viktor Frankl, he would know, right? To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That's all. Yeah, to truly live, like imagine like what that would mean for you. Not just getting by, not just every day, like same freaking like commute or like get on the same train, see like that same homeless person, like always wonder like what do they do in the like what are we gonna do for this guy in the winter, like which we like he has a dog, like it doesn't have to always be the same. I feel bad about that homeless person. But like I did that for so long. I commuted and like had the same experience every morning for like 10 years. And I can't believe I put up with that for so long. A lot of people might say COVID kind of made them change their minds about stuff too. Maybe that's one good thing that came out of pandemic. I don't know. But in the depths of winter, I finally learned that there was in me an invincible summer mood. And I do think that deep inside of us like lies like this path, this like invincible summer that's just waiting to come out. And it has a lot to do with your purpose on earth. There's a lot of purposes we have to fulfill. When your soul looked down from heaven and looked at the earth and decided which person they wanted to, like, what baby they were going into, I guess. Like, you chose, like, this struggle, you chose, like, this life, and you decided for yourself, like, those would be your parents, like, this is gonna be my experience, you know? So, like, all of this is coming to you, like, this drive to be an artist, this drive to design, to create, like, these ideas, they're not coming out of nowhere. Like, these are kind of like part of your saga, your preordained destiny. And I really believe that. I know that sounds nutty. Like, have you ever read Women Who Run with the Wolves? That book is kind of about just freeing yourselves from not inhibitions, but, like societal expectations on you. It just, my heart goes out to you if your family, like, is really the ones who are telling you you can't do something artistically. Or, if you have, like, a ton of kids, I mean, it seems really hard. That's what stopped me. I was like, it's like parent full-time situation. And once you have kids, like, you're not going to be able to take care of any of your creative desires or something. But obviously you totally can. And it might even be more creative and more rich, like, with the kids, because, like, maybe you're interested in, like, who knows, like, art teaching or children's book illustration, or maybe it's just something else that I can't even imagine, because honestly, like, once the path opens up to you, it does transform, like, everything you've thought of before, like, all the milestones you're going to hit, like asking yourself the uncomfortable things that shift your whole path. Like, it's like asking a forbidden question. It's like Bluebeard, he says to his wife, like, don't open the closet, just, that's the only rule. And it's like the forbiddenness of it, like, it's a secret, the hidden truth. It's not, it's like she wants to find out what's behind there because it's a secret. But when she discovers that he kills all his wives, like, probably each wife had opened that closet and seen the last one in there. It's fascinating, right? Like, now I'm wondering, did Johnny Depp, that's Sweeney Todd? It's different than Bluebeard. But Bluebeard is represented in the wonderful TV show You and book by Caroline Knappness. I love those books. I love that story. And like, I think that's really what resonates with me now. But in this case of our journey of our 15-part series, this is a journaling question. Like, it's like, it's going to be like the single journaling question that's going to change your creative focus and discuss, like, together we're gonna, like, well, right now, I guess, decide, like, what your focus should be. But yeah, and speaking about our journey together and building your personal brand and becoming, like, the artist of your dream and building your dream life as an artist and designer and illustrator or whatever you want to do, no matter what it is, like, we're all kind of on the same path here. This is journaling. This is a long journal post that you have to, like, write yourself. What makes them true? And you have to prove it. Then it can still be a belief if it's true. But if it's not true, which I'm sure it's not, because actually it's whatever you decide it is. It's whatever story you tell yourself about something that makes it true or not. Then, like, I want you to, like, listen to yourself and say the opposite of that truth, and both sides, like, argue, but, like, back and forth. So yeah, for me, I mean, I obviously said that, like, not having kids kind of thing. Then my other one was, like, all the milestones. Like, do I have to be, like, a creative director someday? Is it okay if I just want to do, just this, like, one position at a certain different companies, like, where I'm just, like, a design consultant, like, is that allowed? Is it true? Is it like, there's a lot to ask yourself about and realize it's not really true. Like, for me, I always woke up and, like, worried, like, what's, like, the problem? Like, what's the fresh hell today to worry about? And when you no longer work for a corporate company, you kind of don't have those worries anymore. So it kind of takes it away from you in the best way possible. But, like, listening to yourself, like, your instinct, like, it does lead to transformation. Like, and sometimes, like, there's a truth within you that you don't want to acknowledge because you're not ready to acknowledge, like, what it means. And that's probably, like, when it comes to, like, toxic friends and, like, just people who are wasting your time and, like, sucking the life out of you or, like, using you or something like that. Like, it's hard to let go of those people sometimes. And yeah, it's going to be hard to, like, make sure, like, you see that as a limiting belief too. But it can transform your, like, mental state, like, your mindset, when you kind of realize that, like, all along this hasn't really been, like, what you said it is in your mind. It's actually not that big of a deal. Like, you actually, like, should go to Paris, like, on your own, like, as a vacation for yourself. Like, you're allowed to kind of like live the life of your dreams. I did it. I went to Paris alone for like 2 weeks and it was really crazy. I can't believe I did it by myself, you know? Like I went to all the art museums alone and like just was very indulgent and like just in that solitude, I found like so much like immortal summer. Like we're saying, it's ennui, like in France. Like you're allowed to be sulky and broody. You're allowed to muse like over your life. And I was just in the Tuileries Garden, or next to the Louvre. I just sat there for hours reading a book. I read Paris Hilton's memoir, Steak Frites and Crepes, and I just had like a very, very beautiful experience. I was home, like back to my hotel by 5 o'clock, like every night, and I watched The American Office because in Europe, like The Office is always available on Netflix. And I like took long bubble baths and all of that to say is that all of that felt like I wasn't allowed to, indulge like by myself. When you live with somebody or like even like with roommates too, or like your family or like your boyfriend or girlfriend, and like, yeah, you just feel like you're not allowed to do any of that stuff for whatever, or I did. I mean, obviously just me. Like I felt like it's very indulgent and you just don't have to answer to anyone like on a vacation alone. And it's very transformative. It's very beautiful. And I slept in until whenever I slept in and I like left when I left. And oh my God, I drank the water too, which is filled with lead. I was like, I have lead poisoning. I was like, yay, now I have lead poisoning. Like I did everything I wanted. Like it's so crazy. And also like basically for me, I like to go to any garden, any palace, and any art museum in a place that I travel to. So I did all of those. And I also went to, in Germany too, I went to the Köln Cathedral. Oh, also churches, like any church. I'll always go to something that has like religious art and like is pretty. And it was a very spiritual experience to do all those things. Oh, Notre Dame was burned down, but I went to all the other churches. Like, and yeah, like when I just kind of say like, the transforming your path, like it transforms your journey. And I started this series saying that the deepest, best journey is the one within. And I mean that, like you're only listening to like yourself, like that small, still pool of water inside of you, plunge down into its depth and look for all the hidden jewels and gold and like the sparkling depths below, like pull them out and pull them up to the surface so that like you can see where like all your depths, like what it's holding, the magnificent like stories you have to tell and gifts you have to offer and that you've been given. So yeah, I don't want to tell you too many other stories about me. Like I hope that you write stories about yourself. Like I want you to write down like why you can't have like all the dreams we dreamt of in the previous video. What makes it impossible for you? What makes it just not likely for you? Is it because of like where you're from or who you are? Like what your like name is? Like who knows? Like whatever like story you made up about how you can't get it, like get uncomfortable and really try to say like both sides. And I'll tell you, like, I really hope that by the end you really do have like the power of the one question to transform your path, and you can kind of come back to it and say like, this is the day I realized like that was a really odd like thing that I thought, like, and thank goodness I'm no longer in that weird spot anymore. And I'm going to, like you can't change a situation, but you can change yourself, a mindset. Because I really do believe it's all about your mindset and your storytelling. So that's what we're doing. That's what personal branding is. It's just storytelling. All right, see you in my next video. Crafting compelling stories, the heart of design. Thanks for watching. See you later. Please subscribe.